A husband and father is killed in a crash on his lunch break. We'll show you how he's being remembered.
Rain is on the way as we roll our way into the weekend across central and eastern Kentucky, and the final week of October is very active. We'll break it all down for you just ahead.
UK begins work on a new research facility. We'll show you what it will be used for.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4:30.
Good afternoon. A southern Kentucky man was killed in a motorcycle crash in Scott County last night.
Rob Griffin Jr., who worked for Toyota, died after his motorcycle collided with an SUV. Griffin lived in Laurel County. WKYT's Phil Pendleton shows us how he's being remembered in our top story at 4:30.
When you talk about the Griffin family, much of what they did could be described by their life here on the football field. Griffin, a coach, his wife, a former cheerleader, their children, I'm told, much like their parents. Griffin and his wife were married for 16 years. Their children, twins Keegan and Kelsey, will turn 13 Monday. Griffin was traveling south on Cherry Blossom Way Thursday night when police say an SUV turned in front of him. He was wearing a helmet, but the violent crash killed him. Rob Griffin was a coach at South Laurel Middle School 2 years ago, and the school principal says he did a lot more than just coach the kids.
He not only just wanted them to be, stellar on the field, he wanted them to be stellar in the classroom and in all areas of life.
The principal tells me that Griffin actually stopped coaching here 2 years ago because of his job and the long commute to Toyota in Georgetown. His wife gave us a statement, and part of that said simply that he was a loving husband and father. More of what she told us about him coming up a little bit later on in another newscast. But for now, in Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Police say the couple in the SUV that hit Griffin were taken to the hospital for a routine exam. Police have not said if there will be any charges in the crash. Well, our stretch of nice weather, unfortunately, is coming to an end.
It was warm out there today. We have rain and cooler weather on the way. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey's here with an early check of the forecast. Hey, Chris.
Hey, guys. Hope you had a chance to enjoy today because the old party is over as we go into the weekend. Wouldn't you know it? Temperatures out there, though, Sam, mentioning the warm weather into the mid and upper 70s now across most of central and eastern Kentucky. The blue skies over the past several days now being replaced by a little bit of cloud cover streaming in from the west, and those clouds are a sign of changes that come into town for our weekend. Initially, the rains across western Kentucky falling apart a little bit. Low pressure number 1 across the Plain States. Little wave of low pressure, though, across parts of the Lone Star State of Texas. That moisture surge you see across the Ozarks right now into western Tennessee. That's what's coming our way as we go into the day tomorrow. But if you're out this evening, it's a mild one. Few clouds around. Temperatures will stay into the 60s right in through 11 o'clock. A major, and I mean a major hurricane ready to slam into the Pacific coast of Mexico. That is Patricia. Patricia, one of the strongest hurricanes ever recorded in the world, and especially across our part of the world right now. At one point, it had sustained winds at 200 miles per hour. Believe it or not, what is left of that system, guys, we're going to have to keep an eye on because it may track into Kentucky for the middle of next week. A busy 7-day forecast when I come back.
All right, Chris, thank you. Not good news there on some of that. A hiker is recovering after falling 40 feet in the Red River Gorge. It happened last night on Douglas Trail. Rescuers say 24-year-old Logan Smith's friends were able to reach him and pull him to a flat area. He's now at UK Hospital where he's in fair condition. We're told the rescue took about 4 hours. And the search continues for the gunman involved in a violent early morning robbery in Lexington. Police say a man was shot just after 3 this morning in a parking lot on Georgetown Street at Bright Avenue. The victim then drove to the Shell gas station on Newtown Pike. Police say the shooting was likely the result of a drug deal, but they say the victim is cooperating. The gunman was wearing a maroon hoodie and has a tattoo on his face.
A day after receiving the largest single gift in school history, the University of Kentucky announced a new research initiative. The $265 million research facility will focus on ways to improve Kentucky's health. WKYT's Rebecca Smith was on the UK campus for the announcement today.
The new facility will complement work that goes on at the Markey Cancer Center, a National Cancer Institute. Kentucky Governor Steve Beshear says convincing lawmakers to commit half the funding of the $265 million price tag needed to build it was an easy sell.
We have long ranked near the bottom or at the bottom of every major health category. We're sicker. We die earlier. We suffer more.
While this new research facility will be located on campus in Lexington, much of the focus of its research will be hundreds of miles away in eastern Kentucky. The area is afflicted with a high rate of cancer, heart disease, and diabetes diagnoses. The hope is that through groundbreaking technology and research, the health of the state overall will be improved.
It reminds everybody again why we are here, and that is to serve Kentuckians first.
In Lexington, Rebecca Smith, WKYT.
Half of the funding is coming from the state, the rest from UK. The building is scheduled for completion in the spring of 2018. Phone calls between Kentucky inmates and their families are getting less expensive. Currently, a 15-minute prepaid long-distance call costs $4.50. The Federal Communications Committee's new rate cap cuts the cost by 63%, making the same call just $1.65. The FCC says easing the burden on families of inmates is the compassionate thing to do. Well, she has knitted hundreds of hats, headbands, and scarves for people in need.
As a Louisville woman tries to warm people's hearts, she's also mending her own. Janelle McDonald shows us how the project is keeping the memory of the woman's daughter alive.
Knit, purl.
This is not just a story about a knitting grandmother.
Well, I'm 89 years old.
Or great-grandmother.
I'll be 90 next year.
This is a story about a woman who can't stop knitting.
I already made a hat this morning before I had lunch.
Because Marie Vessels is on a mission.
Yeah, I make about 2 hats a day.
To take up the legacy of the daughter she lost.
Everything I do is for her. I know she's watching.
Carolyn Britz loved people, says her sister Anita Thornton.
She devoted her life to children. She taught for over 40 years.
Shortly after her retirement, Carolyn was diagnosed with cancer. Marie started knitting again at Carolyn's suggestion.
She said, you know, you can do it and distract you, only you always have to make somebody else happy.
Even as Carolyn got sicker, Marie kept knitting.
Just like God told me, He knows what's ahead of me, her being so sick and she's not going to make it. And that was one boy took the pain away from me.
And when she died in April, Marie didn't stop.
She started making it for Serenity, really.
Using needles to mend her pain and create hats.
That's about 130.
Dozens of headbands.
And I have about 15 scarves.
All of them bound for someone else, strangers mostly.
Well, I'm going to give them to the children in school and the orphanage and the church, this whoever needs it.
Last year, Marie donated 200 hats. She's well on track to do it again.
That's all there is to it.
With each loop and each row, there's a little sorrow for a daughter who's not here.
That's a shame she can't be here today. She'd be so excited.
And joy that Carolyn's legacy didn't end with her death.
And I know she's looking down. I know she's happy.
What a big heart she has. Marie takes a lot of pride in her work. She is self-taught and says she used to re-knit sweaters for herself and her family during the war in Germany. She even made her daughter's wedding dresses. There will be a little piece of Kentucky at this year's World Series. Louisville Slugger is making World Series game bats for the New York Mets. It will also make bats for the American League champs once the series is decided. The company has made bats for players in every World Series since 1903.
Visitors to the Kentucky Horse Park have something new to greet them. A new mechanical horse sculpture is on display at the park's visitor center. A New York sculptor installed the sculpture for people visiting for the National Horse Show, the Breeders' Cup Festival, and the Breeders' Cup. It will be on display until October of next year. That is pretty cool.
Well, just in time for the weekend, there's a new batch of movies to check out.
Julie Banderas has a look at what's new in theaters.
Do you know what it's like to live forever?
Vin Diesel leads the way in the new supernatural fantasy flick, The Last Witch Hunter, as an immortal warrior facing off with a renewed threat from the witch world. The film co-stars Michael Caine, Elijah Wood, and Rose Leslie.
This is no coincidence, and I believe she's part of a prophecy.
Speaking of the supernatural, for something on the horror side of the genre, is the latest in the found footage franchise Paranormal Activity, called The Ghost Dimension.
Jen, this is exactly the artist that Starlight has been looking for.
Hoping to offer a truly outrageous blast from the past, there's the music-filled Gem and the Holograms, based on the popular 80s TV show.
I booked tours, dude. Bring this chick for money, for a ton of money.
To Afghanistan? Audiences can also jam out at the movies with Bill Murray in Rock the Casbah. He plays a music manager whose last client abandons him in Afghanistan, where he discovers an incredibly talented girl who he helps bring to their version of American Idol.
You're issuing contradictory instructions. You're insubordinate. You make people miserable.
Plus, the biopic Steve Jobs heads to more theaters nationwide this week. The story, written by Aaron Sorkin, follows Michael Fassbender as the Apple co-founder.
Co-founder Steve Jobs
is returning to Apple. In New York, Julie Banderas, Fox News.
If you love food, you will want to head to Lexington Center this weekend.
The Kentucky Proud Incredible Food Show taking place there tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. Deanne Stevens is out and about with a look at all the fun.
Good afternoon, guys, from the Lexington Center, where we are preparing for the Kentucky Proud Incredible Food Show. Things are kicking off at 9 o'clock right here tomorrow morning, 9 until 5. Tickets still available. You can even get them here at the door. You're going to see this beautiful young lady. Bridget is with us. And Bridget, you are always busy in the kitchen.
I am. It's because I always want to eat, so I'm always making something. So today I'm making kind of a stovetop cobbler. This is sometimes called a slump or a grunt. And the reason I wanted to do it is it's kind of a play on making biscuits. Do you make biscuits, Deanne?
Out of the can. I opened the can. I mean, you want me to be honest, right?
Well, you can learn how to make biscuits here. You can sample them in Biscuit Alley. Or I'm using some Weisenberger self-rising flour. They're the sponsor of Biscuit Alley. This is so easy. It's literally a cup of self-rising flour, a few tablespoons of butter, and milk. That's all it is.
Okay, if I knew it was that easy, I'd be making them from scratch. But
I know. It's just as easy as popping open the can and much more delicious. So this is essentially a biscuit mix, but instead of rolling and cutting it, we're going to scoop it onto some simmering fruit. This is just berries with a little bit of sugar, but it is fall. You could do one with apples and some of the country rock sorghum that we'll have for sale, or you could even do something like pumpkin and pumpkin butter, peaches and some of the local honey, any sort of
You're making me hungry.
Fruit. Hot fruit is what you want.
Okay, so you put your fruit on the stove.
And then, believe it or not, you don't have to put this in the oven. So you just kind of scoop this onto the fruit, and it's like making little dumplings slash biscuits.
Yeah.
And then what you're going to do is just put the lid on, and then it bakes under the lid. It just kind of simmers. It won't brown the way it would in the oven, but they'll still be nice and fluffy. They kind of suck up some of the juice from the fruit. They get nice and flavorful. They stay really moist.
They look amazing.
It's going to be delicious.
Listen, and this looks like something my kids could help with.
Oh, totally.
They like to cook.
They can get their hands in here, get their hands dirty. There is something for everyone at this show, Deanne. So if you want to bring the kids out, they can eat and run around and go to all the seminars just like everyone else. It's
9 to 5 tomorrow.
9 to 5
Tickets
tomorrow.
at the door. Or
Tickets at the door, or visit IncredibleFoodShow.com. I'll be here all day. There's all kinds of good eats.
What are you throwing on there?
Ooh, a little bit of bourbon smoked sugar, and I think that adds a little bit of sweetness, but also texture.
Okay.
So when we cover this is the hard part. You have to wait for like 20 minutes.
Oh, no, 20 minutes, which means you're going to miss out on it, but we won't. We'll be here.
Yep, we sure will.
Come see him tomorrow. Come see Bridget, too. She's giving all those quick tips here at the Lexington Center, 9 to 5, the Kentucky Proud Incredible Food Show. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about. Are we down to 19 minutes yet?
Oh, just about.
Counting down. Oh, keep it on. Back to you guys.
Yeah, Deanne cannot wait. I understand that. Tickets for the new Star Wars movie have started to show up online. Entertainment Weekly reporting that tickets for the first showings of Star Wars The Force Awakens are on eBay and Craigslist for several $100s to as much as $10,000. Pre-sale tickets for IMAX screens have brought in $6.5 million, and that is a new record. Star Wars hits theaters on December 17th.
Get ready for your cuteness overload. General Mills is holding a casting call for the next Real Tricks Rabbit, asking bunny owners to submit pictures of their pets. The winning rabbit will be featured on Trix cereal boxes. It's part of the launch for the cereal's new recipe using natural ingredients instead of artificial ones.
It felt like we were going back to June and July today. I thought it was that warm.
It was downright hot out there today, right?
What's going on?
But Chris Bailey, it's not going to feel downright hot tomorrow, is it?
You know, breaking the shorts out over there, flip-flops, what have we got here, huh? Going back to summertime around here, upper 70s in much of the area today. A little taste of Indian summer, certainly after the frost and freezing conditions we had early this week and last weekend. Current temperatures into the mid-70s and upper 70s across the entire area with a partly sunny sky. Notice we have more sun the farther east that we go. Farther west, those clouds are beginning to thicken up a little bit and starting to see at least a sprinkle around the Owensboro and Evansville area. We're not concerned about that this evening. That will change, though, as we go into the day tomorrow. Showers and thunderstorms begin to spread into much of central and eastern Kentucky, and that starts a very active final week of October, complete with a bigger storm that comes down the road into the middle of next week. We'll track that when I come back a little later on.
Thank you, Chris. Birds on the run and a homecoming queen with an impressive kick.
It is the video that will have you talking. Take a look at this. Emus have taken over a central Texas neighborhood. 4 of the flightless birds escaped from their backyard and have been running loose ever since. Animal control and police have been trying to round them up. Their owner says the only thing they can do is try to herd the animals back to the yard.
A homecoming queen pulling double duty in Alabama. Of course, in Alabama. Jody Farnetti kicked the winning field goal to get her team the victory. She had been crowned queen earlier in the night. And did we mention she's also a varsity cheerleader? The score was extra special because her dad is the team's coach, and this was his final game before he retires.
Special moment. All right, he is an IT manager by day and a professional pumpkin carver by night. Jim Morey holds up inside his garage each day until midnight, making masterpieces out of pumpkins. He gets orders from television networks and celebrities, as well as customers who want personal touches ranging from children to pets. Morey says all he needs is a good photo to make his carving lifelike.
What I tell people is, if it doesn't freak you out a little bit when it's pitch dark and you light that up, then I didn't do a good job.
The pumpkins sell for about $100 a piece and up. Even though he has a day job, Morey says he makes enough money from the pumpkins to pay for Christmas for his family.
Look at those.
Those are pretty incredible. You know, I still just go with the magic marker and draw the eyes and mouth.
Try not to cut my hand. Or
done.
Yes. All right. Much more to come on this beautiful Friday next on WKYT at 5.